everybody, and welcome to the weekly scopes from the 14th to the 20th of January 2024. So we're halfway through January, so that's a good thing. So today, on the 14th of January, Venus makes a quincunx to Uranus, the moon enters its crescent moon phase, the sun enters Capricorn, and Venus also makes a trine to the moon's north node. So the crescent moon is a good time to sort of like work on new beginnings for the coming. Using that new moon energy can make us more optimistic and motivated, so it just allows us to set intentions or follow through the intentions we made when it was the new moon. It wants us to take practical actions towards our goals and trust in our natural abilities and develop new ones if we're lacking skills, for us to stay focused even when they are setbacks or doubts. Spiritually, it encourages us to embrace our shadow side, acknowledging and integrating all aspects of ourselves, inviting us for self-reflection and helping us with our continued or starting our lifelong personal growth journey. Also today the sun enters Capricorn, so I've done a whole other audio about this if you want the in-depth where I talk about it from every angle, from the karmic meaning to what it means in depth for what the sun in Capricorn means for our hookup and committed relationships as well. So in summary, the sun in Capricorn gives us a month supporting us in staying focused, being practical, focusing on our long-term goals, giving us that extra determination, allowing for us to be accountable for our life journeys, make plans and work hard towards our future success. But negatively, it can make us cold, which can make us neglectful in our intimate or friendship relationships and family relationships and stuff. We may also feel pressure to conform to other people's expectations, so not wanting to think outside the box and break tradition. So it's a good energy to use to follow rules, but also make sure you allow yourself room for your authentic self-expression, but good for raw goals, creating realistic plans and taking slow and steady action towards reaching your goals as well. The sun in Capricorn ultimately wants us to find a healthy balance between work and personal fulfillment. So the sun in Capricorn essentially symbolises the importance of structure, working to routine, responsibility and self-discipline in our life, and wants us to think about what our goals are and align them with our inner values, to take more notice of the practical side of life, going towards your path of success, but also remaining true to yourself as well. As Shakespeare said, to thy own self be true. So Venus is trine to the moon's north node, supports us in going after our life purpose and reaching our highest potential, also allows for us to have more meaningful connections with others based on understanding and empathy and shared value, aligning with our higher consciousness soul's purpose, exploring ourselves creatively and tapping into our inner passions and talents with ease. Also good for, on the psychological level, inner child work as well, sort of like giving us that energy to dig into the depths of our shadow and love and heal as well. So the best use of this energy is to strengthen your relationships with yourself and others by having open communication, understanding and mutual support. And just, embracing life, making conscious decisions, looking after your overall well-being and helping others do the same as well. Also today, Venus makes a quincunx to Uranus. So this supports our creativity, encouraging personal freedom, giving us that support to try new things, which is good. This is what the crescent moon was calling for us to do. At the beginning I talked about that, and this crescent moon energy is going to last for the next week. So Venus's quincunx's Uranus reminds us that sometimes we need to make adjustments so we can do all the things we want to and need to do in our life to make us happy. So this can be from taking care of our emotional and physical and psychological well-being, as well as socialising, having fun, chilling out and relaxing. It wants us to, bring more emotional freedom and authenticity in our life, and we may uncover hidden desires within ourselves as well. You may be in a relationship, you may be single, you may find yourself having deep conversations or thoughts with yourself about different ways of experiencing love and pleasure in your life. And what you discover, you could be monogamous all your life up until now, and now you may be opening yourself up to thinking about an open relationship. But remember that open relationships often take more work than traditional, because when we're dating multiple people, we have to adhere to multiple boundaries and be emotionally intelligent and all the rest of it as well. So preparing yourself by working on your self-love and self-care, this energy supports us doing that as well. So yeah, that's the 14th of January. On the 15th of January, the moon enters void of course. So when the moon's in void of course, some astrologers say it's best to put off important meetings, take some time out for relaxation, checking in with yourself and others about your feelings and stuff as well in a gentle way. The moon then enters Pisces at 7:08. So when the moon's in Pisces, it allows us to be more sensitive with ourselves and others, be more creative, imaginative and compassionate. Good for all types of dream work and feeling at one with yourself and others, as it can just bring an increased sense of unity within and without, allowing us to become more intuitive. But negatively, we can escape to la la land, do things excessively like drugs, drinking, anything else that's toxic to you in excess. We can be more vulnerable and moody, and people may change their minds and manipulate and lie, and we may want to ignore red flags as well. So we just have to make sure we do all we can to be emotionally stable. And the best use of this energy is to do things that nurture your physical, emotional, psychological and spiritual well-being, and create a deeper connection with the unseen realms, the unknown, the more spiritual, higher consciousness aspects of life. Taking time out for meditation on your own and with others, creating sort of like just a nice relaxing atmosphere for you. This energy encourages us to tap into our higher and divine selves and to explore the depths of our subconscious mind, and just allowing yourself to be more relaxed, forgiving and compassionate to yourself and others, sort of like transcending self-doubt and fears, and just trying to just really open yourself up to the feelings of love. So it's just good for our creative work, mending our relationships, but also it can make us run away from our emotions as they can come to the surface, so we may overindulge more in intoxicating substances. So just try and navigate today's energies with just a bit of awareness, but still allowing yourself to explore your own and other people's depths in safe and boundaried ways. So on the 16th of January, the Sun makes a set star to Neptune. So again, this energy allows us to open up and connect, or continue connecting. The moon's in Pisces. This is the Sun making the set star to Neptune that rules Pisces, so it allows us to be more open-minded, gain a more deeper understanding of ourselves and others. So stabilising the moon in Pisces, allowing us to stay a bit more grounded, a bit more realistic and just imaginative. But it can still, because it's like double Neptune with the moon still being there as well, can cloud our judgment, and illusions can just blur our boundaries, and we can be confused or deceived right now. So we have to just make sure that we fact check, allow ourselves to not run from ourselves, and although the truth can be hard sometimes, hearing it does set us free in the long run. Obviously it hurts first, I'm not gonna lie, but ultimately when we use that pain to reflect and learn the lessons, we can grow, we can move on and allow life to send us new experiences. When we see things from this perspective, we are more more open to life rather than letting life kind of drag us along, or people's expectations. A big ones right now is that, we don't want love, we're all single, dating's a nightmare and all of that. But I don't believe in that. We come to believe these things because we consume all this content, but deep down, not all humans are social, not all humans want to have a million friends, but the majority of us want to have at least one special person that cares for us. So, the need for love and interaction is still alive and sort of like kicking within us, although we may have dampened ourselves down to it. So this energy allows us to be vulnerable, to be in touch with our emotions, and although negatively we can be susceptible to negative energies around us, it can make us susceptible to positive energy as well, and just allowing us to express and be honest about our innermost thoughts and feelings. So another energy that allows us to face our truth on the highest level if we open to it and trust our intuition and follow the guidance of our higher consciousness, which we all know can be hard to do when we're so consumed by doubt and unforgiveness and regret and bitterness. But if we make a vow to work for these, and this energy also gives us great healing and the power to forgive ourselves and others and release our past hurts and grievances, and the ways we have hurt others and others have hurt us, even if we've been bitter and revengeful for years. This energy allows us to let this go, reminding us of the interconnectedness of all things, and how when we basically be jealous and revengeful of others, we're cutting ourselves off from the richness of our lives. So it just allows us to be more kind and just open to change. On the 17th of January, the moon enters its void of course again, and then it goes into Aries at 10:04. All times are in GMT, and it's based on Vedic constellational astrology. And the moon's north node also goes direct out of retrograde. So this just allows us to set intentions, take action towards our goals, and just be more open to growth and change, and have more clarity about our goals and how to achieve them, pushing us out of our comfort zone, supporting newness. And the moon in Aries gives us that extra push over the next 2 to 3 days to be more courageous, passionate and assertive, giving us the motivation to go out there and do what we need to do. But we have to be mindful that we don't disrespect other people's boundaries while also staying true to ourselves as well. Good energy for us to seek out guidance from spiritual mentors or people who can help us with our career advice and stuff. Also, the moon's north node going direct is good energy for meditation and journaling. We have to remember that communication is key over the next 2 to 3 days, because although we may be more assertive in expressing our desires and needs, conflicts can come up, as I said, if we don't take other people's feelings and boundaries into account. So having honest conversations can create stronger connections and bonds and help us with achieving our career goals. Some of us working with others is going to be a good way to achieving your goals. For others, you don't want to make enemies and people just getting in the way of your goals just because you rubbed them up the wrong way. So just, they say, smile on the way up and smile on the way down. So just be respectful for those who may be in a junior position to you at work or anything like that as well. So be kind instead of cruel. But as always, assert your boundaries and respect others. But yeah, on the 18th of January, the moon's north node goes retrograde. The moon enters its first quarter moon phase as well. Mercury makes a sextile to Saturn, and Venus also enters Sagittarius. So when the moon's north node goes retrograde, it wants us to identify any areas that need growth or change in our lives as well. We may feel a bit confused and uncertain as this energy pulls us inwards. It supports us in self-analysis, exploring our deepest desires and goals and realigning with them and setting our priorities as well, especially when it comes to our spiritual and personal, emotional, psychological development. It's important to take note of any intuitive messages or insights you get during this period. Ultimately, it wants us to take a pause in our life, reevaluate our goals and make the necessary changes on our path that we need to. The first quarter moon energy supports us in taking assertive steps towards our goals. We have to make sure that we don't rush into decisions, and we use this energy wisely to avoid the negative impulsiveness and impatience that this aspect can bring. The best use of this energy is to make progress on long-term projects, push through any obstacles, and to take decisive action while moving forward with confidence, but also steadily weighing up the pros and cons, making a plan. This energy symbolises a time of growth that can happen internally and externally, and giving us the strength to tap into our inner warrior and overcome any obstacles that come up now and manifest our highest desires. So Mercury makes a sextile to Saturn, so this can make us more practical, disciplined and focused, giving us the energy to think more critically and strategically, making it an excellent week because this energy also allows us to plan and problem solve, so it's an excellent week for that, and to have talk in productive ways and come to resolutions, creating active listening spaces for you and anyone who may be in conflict. Maybe you can be a kind of mediator right now and help people resolve their problems, but we just have to watch out for thinking too rigid and inflexible, being emotionally cold, pushing people away. It's important to strike a balance between being practical and flexible to avoid excessive skepticism or resistance to new ideas and perspectives. As I said, this energy is good for making detailed to-do lists, setting goals and creating action plans, allowing us on the spiritual level to integrate being practical and to bring more discipline into our mental processes while having fun too, to avoid burnout, making a lifelong plan that includes balance of all things. So not too much work, not too much play, but balance, not too much emotional coldness, not too much idealism, but a balance between our practical and spiritual kind of selves and our logical and subconscious minds. So it allows us to really push us through and take focus action on our long-term goals and to make them, and examine our negative behaviours and self-destructive thoughts, and making sure that we make a plan to slowly understand and heal and manage them so we can become more in alignment with our higher purpose. So Venus entering Sagittarius, I've done a whole separate audio about this, so check out the links or playlist to listen to that. But ultimately it allows us to get out of our comfort zones in the matters of love and pleasure, seek out new experiences, but it can make us impatient and restless, and make us want and need constant stimulation and excitement. So we just have to watch out for overdoing it, and it can make us just want too much instant pleasure, so we can lack focus, so getting in the way of the energies that want us to focus on making long-term plans. So ultimately this energy wants us to learn on the spiritual level the importance of patience and delayed gratification, putting off our pleasure so we can achieve our goals and have more longer term pleasure in the long run. It allows us to sort of grow by challenging what we have come to think of true in terms of matters of love and romance and relationships in general. On the 19th of January, the moon enters void of course, Mercury makes a trine to Jupiter, and Venus also makes a square to Neptune. So Mercury's trine to Jupiter helps with our communication skills and confidence, allowing us to flow with our communication more effortlessly. So this can help us repair arguments and conflicts and stimulate engaging conversations, but it can also just infuse optimism and problem solving skills in the air as well. Venus' square to Neptune allows us and supports us in exploring our passions, going after what we want in life, but it can also make us confused. And Neptune energy always brings the tendency to overdo it, and with Jupiter making us overdo it as well with drugs, drink, alcohol, anything else that we do too much and become kind of like confused and, you know, kind of irresponsible, and can make us like not stick to our routine, which can cause problems in our career and relationships. So the best use of this energy of Venus square to Neptune is to get to the heart of matters. Try not to idolize people, try and love them and see them for who they are and be authentic in, you know, we all fall guilty of it. Sometimes we see people as who we want them to be or who we interpret them to be rather than who they are. So this energy allows us to really open up and not be scared to open up and to accept people as they are as well, and set healthier boundaries in our relationships, so it can bring more clarity into our relationships at this time, helping us to set realistic expectations and to just, you know, just be more open and reflective and honest. On the 20th of January, the moon enters Taurus and the sun also makes a conjunction to Pluto, and the moon void of course starts also at 11:32. So the moon in Taurus brings a stable energy, allows us to enjoy, creates a comforts, the things that bring us pleasure and the people that do so too. It gives us that inner strength and we can find security in doing things that are in our comfort zone. It's good for sort of like reassessing our inner values and finances as well. The sun's conjunction to Pluto brings that an intensity to our day, especially when it comes to our personal identity and willpower. We may feel intensely about these right now as well, so it gives us the willpower to carry on through obstacles and do the things we've been putting off, work or having that important discussion in relationships. It can make us more self-aware and just aware of the world around us. The best use of this energy is to just take care of ourselves, to look after your emotional well-being, and to sort of like do shadow work and self-reflection work as well, looking into your limiting beliefs and subconscious patterns, exploring the changes that you need to make on your own or in your relationships. It urges us to get more pleasure from the natural things and simple things in life, you know, going out in nature, spending time with friends and family, just watching your favourite show, listening to your favourite song, wanting you to release shame and guilt and become more grounded, to tap into your intuition and learn to trust your instincts, to slow down and be present, and, you know, seek out advice if need be as well. But ultimately, today's energy provides us with the vibes we need for the next few days to create a soothing environment for ourselves and others, and, you know, tending to each other's emotional or our own well-being, and you know, just being more gentle. So yeah, that's the weekly scopes from the 14th to the 20th of January.